Excited to obviously start some postseason play here, heading over to Athens and as the number 2 seed, which I just very proud of the team and what they've accomplished this year and so far, and just know that we have a lot of work ahead of us, so let the fun begin.
So Trisha, with 5 or 6 teams at least that possibly in this could win the national championship in the SEC tournament, is this kind of a dress rehearsal with no kind of worry about the net? You don't have to worry about if you lose, so to speak. It's got to be, you've talked before just how unusual this is.
Yeah, this year has been crazy. You're right, Cease. I think, this is a great opportunity for us to just get more reps against very, very high level competition. And you're absolutely right. I think, the national champion is probably going to come out of this group. And so how lucky are we that we get to just face it day after day, and really it just becomes another game for us. So for us, it's a way for us to sharpen our skills, our pitchers to be able to get some innings against some really good hitters, and for us to figure out some more pieces. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this opportunity, and it's going to be a great time for us to, get some other looks, be able to see what our other pitchers can do, and just get us ready for, postseason after this week.
How do you balance, I know it's to get you ready, but this is a tournament that doesn't really carry a lot of weight.
Yeah.
The real ones coming out. So how do you balance, preparing, playing, going hard in this, but also knowing what's on the horizon?
Yeah, I think I know my staff and this team, we play to win. And so I think for us, it's going to be just a great opportunity for us to get in some really good reps, right? We don't want to be sitting stagnant for a week before we start NC2A postseason play. And I think it's also an opportunity for Lefty to get some reps in against really good offenses, and then also for other pitchers to come in and get some innings in. Grace getting some innings in, Kate Munnerlin, Lessentine, Emily Levitt. So it's going to be an opportunity for everybody to be able to get in, get some live at bats, and try to win ball games. I think the great thing about us, and we've talked about this a lot, is we find a lot of different ways to win ball games. So there's going to be opportunities this weekend for others to win ball games, and I'm going to see who steps up and what that looks like, and what do I have exactly in the tank moving forward.
How do you feel about the pitching staff heading into the postseason? Obviously, what Emily does, but just the group as a whole.
Yeah, I think we're much deeper than we were last year at this time, and I thought we made a great run last year. Lefty is fresh. I think she's starting to really come into her rhythm. I felt, again, her day 2 outing was superb. Obviously, offensively, we supported her a little bit more, which always makes our life much easier. But I think, she's understanding what this looks like. She's been here. She's done that every year that she's been here. She's helped A&M softball get farther every year that she's been here. So I would expect nothing more out of her, I think Grace has been part of SEC, has been part of postseason play. So has Sydney Peters. Levitt obviously has been here as well, and understands what this looks like moving forward. So we have a lot of depth and a lot of experience depth, and that's going to help both Lessentine and Munnerlin.
Y'all dealt with a lot of weather on the road this year. It seems like that could be the case as well. Just how do you think your group has faced that and just done when there are, other scenarios happening?
Yeah, I think we're a tight group. A couple of them came up. They make fun of me because I'm here late, and some of them come and hit at night. So they were up in my office, and they're like, Coach Ford, on the road, we're good. Like, there's no distractions. We just play ball and we enjoy ourselves. So they've done a really good job of controlling the things that they can control. They cannot control weather. We can't control the start and no start. But it really gets you prepared for all the obstacles that could happen to you, during a season. And so I think we've handled them very well. I would expect us to continue to handle it really well. And, one of the things I always talk to them about is, love the hard. Life is hard. Softball's hard. And the more you embrace it, the better off you're going to be.
You've been tinkering with really your hitting lineup since Arkansas. You did it again at Tennessee. Could we see more of that? And, how Mathis where did that come from? And what about where your lineup?
Yeah, Coach Heff has been fighting for her. And so she's just done a great job of really working hard during practice, which they all do, but she's really taken it to a different level, has understanding how to play this game and the seriousness that it takes in order to play this game at this level. Frankie has done a tremendous job for us. We we talked about this. We have depth, and there's some things hiding on our bench that, Kelsey's been hiding on the bench that maybe everybody else doesn't know, but we knew was there. And so it was just figuring out the right opportunity, the right timing for her to get out there and get some work. And I thought she did a tremendous job with her opportunity. And I could see her obviously still stay in the lineup. I could see Frankie in the lineup. Mac Barbara's been catching for us, and I think she's done a great job. Her rapport with not only the umpires, but with our pitchers has been tremendous. It helps us defensively. I said this a couple of times this week. Without Amari Harper playing first base, I don't know that we win that game against Tennessee 1-0. She had 3 huge defensive plays for us this past weekend. And as we get going and as the season gets, closer and closer to the end, that pitching and defensive component, I think, is going to really shine.
Now, what about, so far this team has answered every challenge. How about winning the Tennessee series? Because maybe there was a little, how did that fit into this equation for the year?
Yeah, I think we go into every weekend expecting to win a series. I think, game 1 was really, it was tough, and I think, Lefty being able to work through 8 walks. If you would have said 8 walks and a hit batter, you would not have thought that, that was going to end up in being an Aggie win. And I just think it goes to show how good she is, to be honest with you. I tease her sometimes, and I'm like, hey, I think you're good, and we don't need to go through all of this, And so she just laughs. And then she comes out and throws on day 3 a great game. So she makes me earn my keep. But I think we just kept working. And I think the reason why we've responded is we haven't gotten too high and we haven't gotten too low. And what I mean by that is we just go to work every day. KK had a huge game again for us, and nothing really intimidates this group. I think they feel very prepared. I think they understand the things that they need to do in order for us to win ball games, and they understand that if option A doesn't happen, then there's option B, there's option C. And I think for the first time since I've been here, they are really truly understanding all the different ways that this team can attack and win ball games.
You've had the tough SEC schedule that you've had, but you haven't played, Texas, Oklahoma. Does the possibility of facing one of, if not both these teams this week, does that kind of only help you guys, seeing a different team that you might even see down the road? Does that help you even more?
Yeah, I think it does. I think any opportunity we get to face a really good team, a really good lineup, a really good arm, only helps us. This weekend, as you already stated, was, it's a great weekend. It's full of excitement, but I don't think it's going to help us or hurt us, whatever happens in this tournament. Obviously, if you win a championship in the SEC tournament, that's a huge, it's a big deal. But I think for us, it's really about us going out and executing. So we were able to obviously see Texas in the fall. They came over here to Davis Diamond, so that was good for us. We have faced Landry. This group has before last year because ULL came here and played. So some very familiar arms. But I think anybody at this point in time will tell you the more opportunities you get to see a high-level arm and a high-level offense, it's only going to help you.
With the regular season in the books, I know you take it one game at a time, but you're finally in postseason. And I feel like with the way last year ended, this group has been very fueled by that. Would you say so?
Yeah, we might have talked about it today again. Yeah, and yesterday. Yeah. So that's the beauty though of athletics. It's just always having a chip on your shoulder, not giving in, fighting till your last breath. That's everything that I want Texas A&M softball to be. I want us to be a pain in the butt and for people to hate to play us.
Super quick and tangible. Maybe having already been to Athens this year, you're only one of 4 teams that can say that.
Yeah, and we played well there, so that also makes me feel good. So I think for us, there was a couple of them that actually said that was one of their favorite surfaces to play on the road this year. So, I'm excited. We're going to feel comfortable. There's going to be a lot going on there. All of us are going through graduation this week, so it'll be really busy. But, for us, being able to play at a park that we've already visited earlier this year, I think just helps us even more.
What about you guys being really a half game short of co-champs, did you go rain outs when you were in the Pac-12? Was that the same?
Yeah,
deal?
it was the same, yeah, same deal, yeah.
Kind of a bummer, though.
It is a bummer. I think my head, and you guys know me, goes to we could have taken care of some things in other series as well. So, Tony, when all of this was happening, I told him, I was teasing him that he was speaking it into fruition because he said, hey, 1 year we got a rain out and it cost us a championship. And he's like, I don't want that to happen to you guys. And here we are. But I'll also say we didn't take care of some games that I felt like we should have taken care of, and we had every opportunity to. So not at all on anybody else except for us. Yeah.
And quickly, the opportunity you have coaching for U.S. Women's National Team, just kind of, what does that mean? Was that?
Yeah, such an honor. I bleed red, white, and blue. I love this country. I think it's such a huge honor to represent it in any fashion that you can ever do. I've been fortunate enough to be part of the junior team for several years, a couple of cycles. Hearing your national anthem at the end of a tournament, it brings tears to my eyes every time. I think when Coach Gasso called me and told me kind of her vision and what she was thinking to do with having, three of us be able to work with the pitchers and what that looked like, I was really, really excited, not only for the opportunity to represent Texas A&M on that stage, represent our country, but for me, be able to learn. Jen Rocha and I have known each other for many, many years, so to be able to work with her, John Barfeld is one of the best minds in the college softball world. He came from the men's fast pitch, so for me, there's a little selfish part of it as well, of being able to work really, really hard to hopefully bring back the gold, but also learn hopefully some new things that I can bring back here for Texas A&M.